Welcome to Yesterday's Capers. I'm Abdullah Moallim, and I got another special episode for you guys. This time I'm talking to Tom Lowe, who was in the band North and South, and they had a TV show on CBBC called No Sweat. If you remember the episode, I was telling you guys that I was trying to get one of the members, or more than one of the members, to come and have a chat with me about their show, about their music, and what they've got up to since those days in the 90s. And fortunately for me, I got in contact with Tom. He got back with me, and yeah, we recorded a really fun episode. It's available on audio and video, so if you want to watch it, you're more than welcome to go watch it. If you want to download the audio, it should be available wherever you get your podcast from. And in terms of the video, it should be available on our YouTube channel. So here's the chat that I had with Tom. Sit back and enjoy. Thank you so much for doing this. Honestly, I appreciate it so much.
No problem. It's my pleasure. It's my pleasure. It just occurred to me I can probably find, I don't know if you're using video or just audio, but I can probably get a better light if I go out here, because I have a nice little balcony with a view of the ocean.
I was going to say, are you about to hit me with a Hawaii view?
Yeah, let's see if I can do that. Oh, there you go.
Oh, oh, that is incredible. Oh.
Yeah, this is actually my first morning here. I just flew to a different island.
Okay.
I flew from Oahu to Maui yesterday evening. So this is my first morning in Maui.
Awesome.
Yeah.
How is Hawaii? I mean, apart from the amazing views and the sunshine.
Hawaii's great. I love it. It's the hiking is amazing. It's world class hiking. I had no idea how good the hiking was going to be, because I've been to Hawaii many times, but I've never really had the time to do that.
Yeah.
To go into nature and just go on these really spectacular hikes. So that's been, I think, my favorite thing here. Yeah.
Right. I mean, let's just start like from the beginning, like childhood, growing up. Obviously, I think my podcast is all about old school cartoons and TV shows. So what were you growing up? What was your favorite cartoons, TV shows?
Oh, okay. Ooh. Well, I was one of these kids who got home from school after being on the bus for an hour, and I would plunk myself on the chair and I would watch Neighbours and Home and Away religiously. So I grew up like going way back. I was watching Neighbours when Kylie Minogue was on Neighbours. That gives you an idea of how old I am.
I was going to say, without showing your age, what era of Neighbours were you watching?
I was watching Neighbours a long time ago. I'm probably from the age of 8 all the way to the age of 16, like 5 days a week. I watched Neighbours and Home and Away.
So didn't you get a chance to watch cartoons, or was it just soaps?
Oh, no, I watched cartoons. I remember going to my grandma's house and watching He-Man with my cousins.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, I thought He-Man was cool. With Skeletor and all of that kind of stuff. Banana Man as well. I was kind of into Banana Man. Cartoons. Yeah, I definitely loved the Disney musical stuff. So I remember, I think I was 15 when Aladdin came out, and I bought a ticket to go see Aladdin at the at the cinema, and I went by myself and watched it and just loved it. You know, absolutely loved it. And to this day, I think that is one of my favorite movie soundtracks. You know,
Definitely. Aladdin's a cracking film, definitely. And if we sort of now go on to North and South and No Sweat, I mean, how did that come about for you?
So I was in school. I think I was probably around 16, 17 at the time. And a friend of mine on the school bus, Sarah, she saw this guy, Tom Watkins, who was a manager of some famous pop groups in the UK. Like, he'd managed East 17, Brass, Pet Shop Boys. And she saw him on this kids news TV show called News Round at the time, talking about putting together a new act. And she said to me that she thought I should go for it. And she helped me do a little photo shoot. I recorded some songs singing in school with my friend who played the piano, and I sent it off, and then ended up going down to London for screen tests and was picked to be one of the 4 members of North and South. And we had a top 10 hit with our first single, and we had a kids TV show on the BBC called No Sweat, which ran for 2 seasons and was the most popular kids TV show at the time. And and it was kind of the beginning of my career, and it was a wild time. And I think we actually all got together last year, and I think it was 22 years since the release of our first single.
Oh, you know, I was literally going to ask you, one of the questions was, are you still in contact with the other members? And you just answered that now.
Yeah, we all got together last year. And I think the only other time we got together, all 4 of us, since the North and South days was I think like 11 years after the first single. So we seem to be having this pattern of 11-year reunions, which is pretty random. Yeah. So I guess we'll have to have a 33.
Absolutely. Honestly, I just want to say this to you. Like, I'm not even like capping or nothing. Like, growing up, this was my show. Me and a friend of mine in our class, because it used to come on, I think, every Thursdays at 5 o'clock. So every Fridays, we would always talk about this show, and we'd be like, I've got an idea. Yeah? No, honestly, I'm not even joking, dude. Like, we would do that all the time. We'd just be talking about it. Honestly, I'm a man, not a boy. That was my song as well. I loved that song. It is such a, you know what? Listening to it like the other day, it still holds up, man. It still holds up. It's not aged badly. Like, it's still like, it's like fine wine, mate. It's like fine wine. Listening to it. You know what? Even Breathing as well. That song is like, I remember that from my childhood so much. Yeah. When I heard it, I'm like, oh my God, how old was I? 9. Yeah, I'm 9 years old all over again.
Yeah, wow. That's so cool. That's so cool. I've never heard anyone describe Man Not a Boy like a fine wine. It's the first time. So this is bringing a lot of joy to my heart.
Honestly, dude, I'm not even joking, exaggerating. Like the episode when you all come together and sing "I'm a Man Not a Boy" in Jimmy's house. Honestly, we were talking about that episode forever. We were like, "Oh my God, they made the band! They made the band!"
It's so funny.
Again, I'm like, "Yes." They made the band, and then you have the girls coming in doing all the harmonies and the ad-libs. I'm like, yes, they got them. And
that's so cute. Oh my gosh, that's so cute. I'm not even kidding you. This is the first time I've ever spoken to anyone who has told me that they reacted to what we were doing like that. You know, like in the way that you did. So that's really sweet.
It's like you said, like it was one of the biggest shows on
Yeah.
CBBC. And I think as a
Yeah.
result of that, because obviously you have so many people watching the show, it kind of translated into the fact that you got into the top 10 with I'm a Man, Not a
Yeah.
Boy.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, we had a really great team behind us. You know, we ended up getting a fantastic record deal with RCA, and then very soon afterwards the BBC came along, and so we had this like, and the management were very renowned. So we had this like power team behind us, you know, and yeah, we definitely were like pretty famous for a quick minute.
I mean, what I wanted to kind of ask you was, because in terms of like, as you were saying with the TV show and that bringing in an audience, do you kind of wish, like, as a band, North and South were around sort of in the social media age with like Twitter, Insta, like having that kind of fan base where, you know, like One Direction will kind of use Twitter to build their fan base, call themselves 1D Army or whatever they're calling themselves.
I've often said if Instagram was around 22 years ago, 23 years ago, for sure I'd have like millions of followers, you know. But that's okay, you know, like maybe it's for the best that I don't have millions of followers. Yeah.
But honestly, I do think that with what you have, I do think there's some kind of authenticity, and like there's going to be like a group of people. Honestly, I don't think I'm the only person. I reckon I could probably scour the World Wide Web and find at least, I don't know, 100 other people. Actually, not even 100, millions, because like millions of people were watching this show. I think 2-3 million easy were like watching this show.
Yeah,
so
2.7 million. Yeah,
there you go. And it's like
it was a lot. Yeah,
and so many. And as a result of that, it's like they're gonna listen to the songs and whatever, and they're gonna have a similar-ish reaction. And things like that.
Yeah, definitely. Whenever I meet people who range between your age and about 9 years older, and who are from England, pretty much all of them remember North and South, and they remember the song "Man Not a Boy," and they remember "No Sweat." You know, so I still today will meet British people who are my age and 10 years younger who and if I tell them like who I am or what I did, they're like, no way, I totally remember that. You know, like I would say most people for sure, like remember it. Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, like you still look quite similar to as you did in '97. Apart from the facial hair, I'll be like, yeah, that's Miles. Yeah, I'll be like, yeah, that's definitely Miles. Yeah. So in that respect, yeah, I'll be like, oh damn, look, it's Miles from No Sweat.
It's Miles.
Yeah. South.
It's that posh one.
Oh, what was the name?
Posh evil one.
St. Ethelburgers. That's it. Yeah.
Oh my God, St. Ethelburgers.
St. Ethelburgers.
Oh my goodness, that's hilarious. I've not heard that. I have not heard that in a long time.
Oh, do you know what? I will say, like, one of my favorite scenes was, I think you and another kid in the swimming pool, and he's like trying to like punch you up, and you just have a look at him, and you just toss him over into the swimming pool. That was brilliant. Loved that scene because it just kind of
the swimming pool fight scene. So random.
You know, we were talking about that particular area. So like, you know, like normally in our school we have like the changing rooms, and that's how you go into the swimming pool. It kind of looked like in that cafe, you just kind of walk in through the front door and the swimming pool was just right there. We were like, what's going on there?
You're so right. It's like you just walk into the pool with your normal clothes on and start fighting.
You've got like tables for the cafe and you have the big epic fight scene, and then you just have a look at the guy and it's like, hang on a second, I'm way bigger than you are. You know,
This makes no sense.
throw him overboard. That honestly, that scene
hilarious.
was absolute classic. So, like, in terms of after North and South and No Sweat, you went to Harvard and you are fluent in Mandarin.
Yeah, this was so after the band disbanded, I spent 3 more years in London, doing shows in London and on the West End. I did Les Mis and Cats in London, and then I moved to the US and ended up doing 4 years at Harvard studying East Asian studies, and my major was Chinese language and literature. And I would say in 2004-ish, my Mandarin Chinese was fluent. You know, I went to China maybe 6 times and like really picked up the language. I had a job out there for 4 months, and after that, I was pretty fluent. But so now, God, what we're talking like 16 years after the time that I was fluent, I can hold a conversation in Chinese, but it's not like where it was for sure.
that is so cool. I think that is awesome. Mandarin fluently. I was going to say, like, how has that kind of helped and benefited your career and things that
you know? It hasn't. I wouldn't say it's really helped my career. It's just been kind of this little side fun venture that I did. I part of the reason that I went to college kind of later in life was to take a break from the entertainment industry because I was a little burnt out by it, and so it was a little bit of this moment in isolation in my life where I took a little break, tried to figure out if there was something else that I want to do with my life, and then came out of those 4 years realizing that I still wanted to perform. So my Chinese has been this kind of fun thing that I've just been able to use. I'll go to a restaurant and be like, oh, can I have a number 33, a number 68, and a number 12, please? Instead of having to know how to say like chicken fried rice or like bok choy with oyster sauce, I'll just be like, can I have a number 25 in Chinese? So like that's about how much use I've got out of it. Yeah.
So American Idol. American Idol, how was that?
It's funny we're talking about American Idol because I just became reacquainted with this Hawaiian guy who auditioned for Paula Abdul, Simon Cowell, and Randy Jackson right after I did.
Wow.
So we were standing in the queue to go in, chatting, like full of nerves. And I guess we found each other on social media, and I met up with him 2 days ago, and we were sort of sharing our Idol experiences from 2006. Yeah, and it was nuts because I only spent like 20 minutes talking to this guy, and then like 14 years later we've become friends, which was so cool.
Awesome.
But yeah, but it was a very intense experience. It was like being in a pressure cooker, and it was a lot of kind of ups and downs. And it was one of the great things about it was being surrounded by so much talent. Like once I made it to the top 60, top 40 singers out of like 103,000 people who auditioned.
Yeah.
They were all, I would say like all of them were freaking amazing. Like they were really amazing singers. So it was just really cool to be in this theater and like watch like 60 singers one after another just kind of blow me away, Yeah.
And really did you, cool. How was Simon Cowell? Did you actually get to meet him outside of the sort of
Yeah,
parameters of the show.
yeah. I actually met him when I went to the bathroom, and he was like going to the gents' toilets at the same time. and he was very nice. He was like very kind of normal, down to earth, very, yeah, just like not the same persona that you associate with Simon Cowell on the screen. You know, he was just very like, yeah, just like really nice.
Did you, and you know,
Yeah.
when you sort of auditioned, did you actually mention No Sweat and North and South? Or did you just...
I did, yes. So like if you watch the audition on YouTube, so Paula Abdul, she mentions north, she says north south, and I do this funny thing where I correct her and I'm like north and south. And it's this really awkward moment where there's this kind of this silence afterwards, and they're all like, oh, he just corrected Paula Abdul. And it's yeah, it's pretty funny. I just like some of my friends who like haven't seen that, and one of my closest friends, Cindy in New York, she watched my American Idol audition on YouTube very recently, even though it's been on YouTube since 2007, and that was the part that she like laughed at the most. She was like dying about the north and south part.
I mean, was that just her from her own knowledge, or was it? I think she genuinely
So when you go into audition, when you audition for the celebrity judges, you're already in the fourth round of auditions. So you've not only auditioned in the big arena in Seattle or whichever city you're at in the US with like 10,000 people, but you've also gone through two more kind of screen tests with producers, and also like answered a bunch of information about yourself, like your past experience in performing, blah blah blah. So they would have been given a bunch of like breakdown notes of stuff that I had filled in. Yeah.
Do you think if you played her Man Not a Boy, she would have liked it? Or you should have sang that song. You should have sang I'm a Man Not a Boy.
I should. There were like a lot of things in that audition. Here's the thing, right? I gave a really good audition, and I made it to Hollywood Week, and I sang really well, which is not always the case, because you can have good auditions, bad auditions, and I was lucky that the audition that ended up having like 250,000 views on YouTube, thank God I did a good one, you know. But I also like said a few things in the audition that I don't think really helped my cause, you know. And so I think probably if I'd have burst into song and started singing Man Not a Boy, I would have done way better in the show for sure. Yeah,
because it's like originality, isn't it? It's technically your own song, and songwriting
You don't
skills.
understand. You don't understand.
You don't understand. You don't understand. Oh, I'm a man, not a boy. Man, not a boy. Man, not a boy. Oh, I just had to get that in there while I'm chatting to you. I thought I was gonna run out of time.
Wait, here, let me give you a round of applause there. Yes.
Thank you very much. You're too kind. So you've got a show on the Oprah's network, Real Life, the musical. I mean, how did that come about?
Yeah, so this was a friend of mine, Romina Garber, who was in the year below me at college, and my friend Ali's bringing me oatmeal. Thank you, Ali.
Hello.
Oh my goodness, that's sweet. That's so sweet. So yes, she was working for a entertainment, like a TV production company in Los Angeles, and she heard about these guys who were, I guess, her boss and a couple of his business associates were putting together a sizzle reel, they called it, for a new reality TV show concept, and they were looking for a host.
American.
Right? Yeah.
Sizzle reel.
A sizzle reel, yeah, a sizzle reel. And they were looking for somebody who had on-camera hosting experience and also a background in song and dance. So she put my name forward, and I was performing in Vegas at the time in a show there called Vegas the Show, which is still running 10 years later. Well, not during COVID, obviously, but was still running. And so I traveled back from Vegas to LA to do a screen test for the sizzle reel, and then ended up getting it, and it was picked up by the Oprah Winfrey Network, and we filmed 10 episodes, and I got to be like a reality TV show presenter for 10 episodes. It was really fun. It was really fun. Yeah.
I mean, did you get to meet Oprah? Please say yes.
I did not.
Oh.
No, I didn't meet Oprah. In fact, when I went to one of the producers and said, "Hey, so I'm applying for a green card, and I was wondering if you think like Oprah might be able to write me a letter of recommendation," and she rolled her eyes and just kind of laughed at me. You know, like that was the most.
Yeah, what's Oprah gonna do? Run for president potentially, or write a letter of recommendation?
Yeah, but you had to ask, right?
You got to shoot your shot, man. You got to shoot your shot. Shoot is shoot. So you had to, and you're working for the Oprah Network.
Yeah,
I'm sure the check. I'm sure it's like a big O on the check anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So it turns out I didn't need Oprah's letter because I got the green card. So it all ended well.
Say you're a long way from Stockport, aren't you? And you got your green card, yeah.
Oh yes, 11 time zones away right now from Stockport. Yeah. Yeah.
So how long have you been in America now?
Since 2001.
Almost 20 years.
Yeah, like almost half my life. Yeah.
So naturally, the accent is gonna disappear, isn't it?
It fluctuates. You know, when I come back to England, my accent becomes more English sounding, and then when I'm here, it's like an instant flip of the switch that I'm not even conscious of. You know, it's weird. It's weird because I can hear it, but I'm not conscious of it happening. It just sort of back in America. And I think one of the reasons why my accent became Americanized was because in my freshman year in college, I just wasn't being understood by people. So I'd go to the coffee shop or I'd go to wherever, the library, and I'd like ask for whatever, and they would just invariably always come back with what, even though I was speaking English like pretty clearly. I just would constantly be misunderstood. So I just adjusted the way that I speak, and
So is
stuck.
So is the Hawaii thing a permanent thing, or you're going to be going back? I said LA you live, don't you?
Yeah, I'm based in LA. You know, I think so. It just seems like the right place to be right now. Because my options are, well, I've got any number of options, but the two other choices would be either LA or Manchester, going back to my family, because I have my parents and my 3 siblings, and I have 8 nieces and nephews, and they're all in the greater Manchester area.
Yeah.
So that would be like a logical place to go. And I've talked with my family a lot about it, and I probably will at some point, but it's, you know, it's like lockdown and quarantine for 2 weeks in either my sister's house or whatever, versus now I've like just arrived on this new island which has like even less cases of the coronavirus than Oahu does, and so and there are all these new hiking opportunities, and like this just beautiful paradise setting with like hardly any of the virus here at all. So it just sort of selfishly seems like a great place to be.
Yeah, and one look at that view, I don't blame you. Just oh, there he is. There's the view again.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah, there it is.
Palm trees, clear blue sky, bit of water. Is that a swimming pool I see over there as well?
It's a swimming pool. It is. It's a swimming pool and the ocean.
And you get oatmeal served as well. I mean,
yeah, look at that.
Oh, that looks proper healthy. That does. That
right.
Well, healthy.
And
you got that.
Landed on my feet.
No, what more do you want? All right, so
no, it's good because I had a group chat with my family yesterday with my parents and my sister and my two nieces. So I probably communicate with them more since the pandemic than I did before. You know, when I was just on the working on cruise ships and stuff. So yeah, I don't feel that I'm more distance from my family than I have been since I left England.
Yeah. Well, you've got the technology, so that kind of helps as well, doesn't it?
Absolutely, thank goodness.
I was gonna say, had you thought about, because there are like a few boy bands out there who have kind of used Zoom to come back together and do songs. I think Backstreet Boys did something.
Yes, they did. I saw that. Yeah.
Why don't you get on a blower to North and South, do a little Zoom performance?
Oh,
get the internet buzzing.
That's a great idea. That's a great idea, my friend.
You have to do that. That's a really good
idea. Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
I'm gonna put my thinking cap on, and that's a really good idea.
And also, you need to speak to the right people and get the music on Spotify or Apple or whatever music platform there is, because there's no North and South.
Is it not? Is it not really?
There is nothing on the streaming sites.
That's crazy.
Yes, it is.
Huh. So even if you're on, let's say, Apple Music and you search for North and South, there's nothing on there. How did I not know that? Wow. Okay.
You need to get on to the necessary people and get it on the streaming sites.
Yeah. Wow. You're right.
I wanna be able to not go on YouTube all the time, and I want to go on the streaming sites and listen to a bit of North and South if I want to.
Yeah, and you should have that right.
Have that right. So you need. So that's your homework. So you need to get the lads back together, and you need to get North and South music on streaming sites.
Okay. I'm gonna get those two things in motion. I'm gonna get the ball rolling.
Yes.
Yeah, I think Sam Chapman might be the first person to approach about that.
Yep, your St. Ethelberger buddy.
Yeah, or James or Lee. Yeah, I'll definitely. We've got a group chat on Messenger, so I'll put that out there and see what we can do between the four of us.
Yes. Yeah. Do it. I'm waiting for this reunion. You need it needs to happen. And would you do it all over again? So like the North and South, no sweat, everything. Would you do all of that?
Oh
again?
Yeah. You mean if I would to go back in time, or would I do it all over? Yeah. Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah. I mean, North and South was my introduction to my whole career. You know, it was like what got me to London. It's what got my foot in the door in the West End, and that's where it all started. Yeah, I kind of owe it. I owe my whole career to North and South. Yeah, for sure.
Honestly, you know what? My sister was also a fan of North and South as well.
Oh yeah. Is she your big sister?
Big sister, yeah. So yeah, married to my brother-in-law, and we do the pod together. And it was something that she would sing as well. Like, I'm a man, not a boy. Like, honestly, that was like, if I do like a top 10 of 90s British pop, this would be right in it. And
anthems of the time, sure. Yeah, 1997. Yeah.
Honestly, and I would say to people, like, if I'm a man, not a boy, if it ain't in your top 10, then you need to go back and you need to do your list again. I'm not having it. In terms of British pop, if that's not on your top 10, nope. Go back and do your list again, and you better include this song.
Well, that was one of the cool things about North and South, is that our audience was very targeted. It was definitely, we had really young fans. You know, we had like 8-year-old and like 9-year-old fans. So that was really cool. You know, because it was we were a band for kids. You know, and it was sweet. Really sweet.
And the thing was, like, it wasn't like, for like, because obviously, like, we're like lads or whatever, we're like seeing, you know, guys on TV, and they're like singing, and at the time it was the coolest thing in the world. So like, even like the No Sweat theme song, like, that just seemed cool. Like, you know what,
it seemed cool.
Like, James Hurst's fashion sense, honestly, because I think when he was going to watch you guys perform at the school, he was like rocking in like Scout's outfit. Honestly, I was creasing when I told him, like, what the hell are you wearing? He's like, Scout clothing, and he's like,
funny. Well, no, the interesting thing about that is that the Scout's clothing was part of the script of the TV show. But whenever you saw James as James, you know, the rock star James, that was him. Like, he brought that to the party, you know, like, that was all him. Yeah, that was just his style. Yeah.
And you know what, we was like, even, because you know what, there isn't enough episodes on YouTube. There's only like half.
No,
and then,
right.
Because it's like, we're watching it, and it reaches to the point where you guys form the band, and then there's no episodes. Like, me and my brother we want more. We want to see how the band develops, and Jimmy's mum. We wanted to find out her backstory.
She's amazing.
She was a character.
I was watching her on. She's on Absolutely Fabulous, and I was just watching Ab Fab, and she popped up on it a few times. She and I are friends on Facebook, and she came to our 22-year reunion as well.
Of course she did.
Yeah.
And was she entering competitions still? Because there was a bit where she has like all the dog food. Yeah, there's all the dog food. It's like, we don't have a dog though. You just have all this like lined up dog food. And we were like, what is her backstory? Brilliant. We were like, we wanted to find out more about her. What's her story? She came from Norfolk. Yeah. You know, is she on the run? Is she divorced from her husband? Right. Did she kill him? We were thinking, what happened with her?
Well, I loved the second series as well, because once we did the second series, we were already established as a band, so it was more like we were playing ourselves in a way, instead of these characters. And it was nice because we each kind of had a featured moment. So there was an episode where I fell in love with a ghost in an old kind of Jacobean mansion, and I got to like write a song that our manager, Tom Watkins, came to me and said, I have this song title, Love at First Sight, and I'd love you to write something. So I wrote the song on the piano, and then I got to perform it on the piano on a live UK tour. And the footage, they used the footage from that in No Sweat. And so it was this like beautiful moment where I got to showcase my composing and my singing, and it was and I don't have access to that. Like, it happened like 23 years ago, and I've like not seen that episode in probably as many years, you know. Like, it's got to be somewhere, but
it has to be somewhere, because someone put 4 episodes up, teased us, and we're like, where's the rest? Where's the rest? I want to see the rest.
I would love to get access to that. There has to be a way, like there has to be somebody at the BBC who has archives of that stuff, you know, which I could probably find if I just put the effort in, you know. Yeah.
I mean,
Homework number 3.
Yes. Yes. I was gonna say, put that on your list as well. Get all of No Sweat and put it on. You know what I was thinking? On YouTube. Because like we was kind of thinking in terms of my pod. Because literally, what we do is we cover old school TV programs from days gone by, like from the 50s, 60s, 70s. From it don't matter what show it is, what country it was from. Like what we kind of wanted to do was to kind of have all of the episodes of the TV shows, particularly ones that people might not know about too much, and kind of just have them somewhere so that people can watch them. And No Sweat would be one of them. Yeah. Because I want people to watch this and enjoy it, because you know it was so much fun to watch. Like Janice and Carly, the two cliched bullies. Everything about it, like it was just so much fun. And
I'm so happy to hear that it affected your life in that way, you know. That's so
big
so
part
sweet.
Of my childhood. Big part of my childhood. It really was. And it's crazy because like it's such a long time ago, and you don't think stuff like this did exist. And I'm watching the opening credits and I'm hearing "I'm a Man, Not a Boy" for the first time in like ages. I'm like, yes, they did exist, and yes, I did watch them growing up, and I did love it so much. And to this day, like I said, like the songs all hold up. They really do. I don't know what song it was I was talking about. So do you remember the song "Pretty Fly for a White Guy" by The Offspring?
Fly for a White Guy. I don't.
So song. This was a song like as a kid, loved it so much. I heard it again for like the first time the other week, and I was like, I like this song. I'm like, I like this song. Like, whoa, like this song aged horribly, but like with North and South, like with "I'm a Man, Not a Boy," like I didn't feel that way. I didn't think, oh, this is a bit 90s and retro, whatever. I'm listening to it thinking, okay, this is catchy. And I literally shared the link to my friend. She's, I think, a little bit younger than I am. Because I just thought, do you remember this? And I think she was like, this was before my time, she said, making me feel old. She goes, honestly, what she said was, it was really good. She was like, it's a vibe. Like the whole song, it is a vibe. It's catchy. It's all of those things. And it holds up 22 years later.
I definitely think Tom Watkins was onto something, that he was the manager, because he had access to all of these major DJs in London who were kind of famous for playing all the gay clubs, and he would get them to do remixes of our songs. And then he would use samples of their remixes in the actual single itself. So when you hear that very beginning, like, man, I'm a man, and all that, that was done by like this really, at the time, very like hip nightclub DJ. And so that became the beginning of the actual official single. So it definitely had a sort of edginess to it.
Definitely. What? Yeah. I'm a man. Oh my god, like that song is still in my head, because you know we did the pod of the episode, so like it's still in my head. I think Breathing is still in my head. What else? Tarantino's New Star as well. That's a really clever title for a song, I think.
I like the music video for that's really fun. We had a really good time filming that. What the story behind that is that the original title was "Who Do You Think You Are?" and then the Spice Girls released "Who Do You Think You Are?" like right before.
Could you not have like given a cease and desist? Like, whoa.
Unfortunately, you can't copyright a title. So at that point, we were like, okay, well, I guess the management.
You know what you could have said to them? You could have said to them, stop right now. Thank you very much. I'll have that title back. Okay. You see what I did there? Got him.
Oh my gosh. No, it was what an amazing time. It was such an amazing time to be in the public eye, you know, like at the same time as the Spice Girls, you know, because I was a huge Spice Girls fan, and we had the same promotions company as them. So we would go into this promotional like PR company in London called, I think they were called Brilliant Promotions. And we got to see all the Spice Girls videos before they came out, and we were just kind of jaws on the floor. Like, I remember seeing their second single video, Say You'll Be There, and just being like, this is the best thing
Were you
ever.
there? Were you there on the shoot, or were you there on the shoot?
No, just seeing it, seeing like the very newly cut, edited video on the screens inside this promotions PR company office, with the four guys, the three other guys, and just we were just kind of on this whirlwind tour of like right in the heart of the music industry in London, and it was amazing.
I was gonna say, like, in terms of like the 90s, that era, like there was the like boy bands, girl bands, groups, it was stacked. And
it was.
You guys, I think, managed to sort of find your way in between and kind of break out in the middle of the pack. So, because obviously you had Spice Girls, I think you had Steps, you had
All Saints,
Boyzone. I think was still going.
And I
think Westlife, Take That as well.
Take That had kind of gone from I think Robbie left maybe a year before. So you'd have these radio road shows that we'd take part in, and we'd travel all over the country, and we would perform with all of these other like boy bands and stuff, and like all over the UK, and it was really fun. It was really fun, and we got invited to all the movie premieres, and I remember going to the Hercules premiere, the Disney film. Ooh. And so one of the actresses from Home and Away who ended up breaking out into Hollywood, her name is Isla Fisher, and she played the role of Shannon on Home and Away. Right. And I thought she was the bee's knees. Like, I just loved her so much. And I got to dance with her at the Hercules premiere after party, which was just like the coolest thing, because I was like 18 years old, you know, and here I was like dancing with this girl that I'd watched on TV like 10 years before, and maybe not that long before, but
courage to like, if there was like a girl that I fancied and ask her to, I would never, and she's famous, like, whoa.
Yeah, stuff like that was so, it was.
But I think,
really,
I guess
really
at
amazing.
the time you had like a little bit of clout, so you could say, I'm on TV, I'm on North and South. So I think in that sense you can, you know, give the chat and.
Well, that was a cool thing, because these celebrities kind of knew who we were, you know, like, so it was amazing. I think I sat something like, I was like 4 rows behind Madonna at the Evita premiere when we went to the Evita premiere, and we went to the after party. So you're with like Andrew Lloyd Webber and Antonio Banderas and like all these like A-list people, and it was nuts. Yeah,
dude,
it was nuts.
There you go. Madonna, that's like the pinnacle, isn't it? Like sitting 4 rows in front of Madonna.
Iconic.
Should have asked her to dance.
Right?
I bet she would have as well. I bet she would have. If you'd asked, 100%, she would have went for it.
Oh, that's funny.
You would have been like, hey, I'm in North and South.
I think the security would have been on me very fast.
What? I'm a man, not a boy. You could have.
Well, it wouldn't have. No, we were not the best behaved bunch, because we loved to drink, and we would go to some of these. Like, I remember getting thrown out of the Ant and Dec album launch party for basically getting drunk and dancing on a stage where we went with Lee. Like Lee and I got like ridiculously drunk, took our shirts off, started doing all this ridiculous like dancing and like pouring beer over ourselves, and literally two security guards picked me up and threw me out of that party. And I think it was Deck. It was either Ant or Deck. I think it was Deck came out and was like, "It's okay, it's Tom. Like you can like let him back in," and he like let me back into his album launch party.
Wait. So Ant and Deck were releasing music still in '98 or whenever this
90. Oh yeah,
launch party was.
Oh yeah, they were because they were in Biker Grove, right? I don't know if you're familiar.
Yeah. I'm blind, Duncan. He can't see, man. He can't see. I remember.
Yeah. So they released an album in '97. Yeah, and we went to the album launch party, and
I thought they just
we
had
were friends
the one
with
album.
them, you know, like.
Wow.
I'm pretty sure this was an album launch party. Yeah, and we knew them. Like we kind of met them several times, and so yeah, it was nice to be invited back into the party after being thrown out. But then it became it became like this article in Smash Hits magazine, like Tom from North and South gets thrown out of Ant and Deck's album launch party. And our management company loved it. Like they loved stuff like that. Whenever we got in the press for stuff like that, they really encouraged this sort of belligerent behavior. Yeah.
Can you imagine? Like millions of people read Smash Hits back in the 90s.
Yeah.
The crazy thing is, like, if I look through like my files or whatever, I probably have a copy of Smash Hits lying around. And it might be like a picture of like you like being flung out. Just imagine that as the front page, yeah. North and South, Tom thrown out, exclusive. like it's just in big red writing and just selling that, and people are like, "Oh my god, I want to read that."
People love that. They love that stuff, Yeah.
You should have done the "Let's Get Ready to Rumble" dance on one of the tables. That would have riled Ant and Deck up,
That's probably what we were doing. That's probably what we were doing. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we did that either at that party or at one of these parties. Yeah. We were doing the "Let's Get Ready to Rumble" dance. Yeah.
Watch us wreck the mic. Watch us wreck the mic. Psych. I can't believe they allowed them to do another album after the first one. If I'm being honest.
Yeah. Maybe it was something else. Maybe it was some other thing that they were doing. And
not gonna lie though, I am quite partial to "Let's Get Ready to Rumble."
Yeah, "Let's Get Ready to Rumble" was a great hit. Absolutely. Yeah.
Every time they just perform it, because I think they've got Ant and Deck's Saturday Night Takeaway, so. It's one of those where they'll just sort of perform it, and it's one of those where it just brings back again so much memories. Yeah. You know what, right? You better watch out for Ant and Deck, because they do pranks on that show. If they like remember North and South and you trying to ruin their big album, they might be, you know what, we got to find a way to get this Tom guy back. You're going to be like on one of their sort of pranks that they do.
Oh, gosh, that's amazing.
Like,
yeah. Who knows? Like, if they get wind of this podcast, yeah.
I'll be like, yeah, maybe I know where Tom is if you ever wanted to prank him again. So they'll just have like people disguised as builders come into your house and be like, right, we need to take this wall down. All this stuff, and it could happen.
Some local Hawaiian builders, yeah.
You better be on the lookout. They could be they could be out there right now, Oh, last question. Where can we find you on the socials?
So my Instagram handle is Tom Lowe USA. So TomLowe USA. And then I'm also I have a Facebook professional page as well. That's just my name, Tom Lowe. And I'm all over YouTube. I've got like a bunch of, I think I've got like 9 music videos that I've made as a solo artist. And some of them I've got professional videos, and some of videos that I've shot and edited on my iPhone just with friends and stuff. But yeah, I've got like 1.5 albums that I've recorded in LA, and so it's all music from that stuff. So yeah, if you just put my name into YouTube, there's like a bunch of stuff there. Yeah, and I've also put together a little murder mystery comedy drama series starring my nieces and nephews and the kids of my cousins that I write, direct, shoot, and edit on my iPhone. Awesome. And we've done 2 seasons of that. The first season has 6 episodes, and the second one has 9 episodes. So that's a bit of a laugh.
No, I was gonna say, like, is there anything new that you want to kind of tell people that you're working on? So that's the one thing, isn't it?
That TV YouTube series is called Cluedo: The Next Generation, like the board game Cluedo, but Cluedo: The Next Generation. And as far as music goes, I'm writing. I'm working on a couple of musicals that I co-write. One is a musical based on my experiences behind the scenes on American Idol, and it's kind of a dark comedy, a bit of a satire on reality TV and the downfall of Western civilization. And
bit of a mouthful, that is.
And the second musical is so the first one has been in the works since for a few years, and the second one is one that we've just started writing, and it's totally different. It's about a cruise ship full of Jewish refugees escaping Nazi Germany in 1939. So it's like pretty heavy and like a historical piece. But I'm working on, I'm composing the music for that and co-writing the lyrics. My writing partner writes the book, so the libretto, the dialogue, and he co-writes the lyrics with me. And so I've been working on those here in Hawaii, and I also have been writing songs. Like I wrote a song for the Black Lives Matter movement called Better World, and that's on my Facebook professional page. And I'm playing the ukulele because I picked up the ukulele. Yeah, I picked up the ukulele here in Hawaii, and so I wrote a little song for that on the ukulele. Yeah. So if you have any trouble finding that, I think it's facebook.com/Lowdown Productions. Okay. So like LOWE down Productions. Yeah, that's the Facebook professional page.
I'm definitely gonna check that out. I want to ask you now. Sorry. I mean, in terms, what made you write the song about the Black Lives Matter movement?
It was actually an email sent by the president of Harvard University, and Harvard is quite a liberal school, so they're very much about like I don't know, like promoting equality among minorities and that kind of thing. And so he wrote this email to the entire Harvard community. And I just thought he expressed a lot of points that were really kind of well articulated. And I basically took his letter and turned it into song lyrics and added my own things here and there. And then, wrote the music on my ukulele and put it on Facebook.
Hey, awesome. Like, I definitely, go and check that out. I definitely will. I'm going to go listen to it. And Tom, like I said, thank you so much for talking with me. I'm gonna let you go before we start talking for like another hour or two. But like, honestly,
my absolute pleasure. Yeah.
I can't thank you enough. And yeah, like, good luck with what you're doing, and we'll definitely speak soon, mate.
You too, mate. Great to meet you. Thank you so much.
All right, cheers,
Okay.
Tom.
Bye.
All right, take care. That was Tom Lowe from North and South. What a top bloke. Thank you so much again for agreeing to talk. That was so much fun. And there's plenty more where that came from. So if you want to listen to more Yesterday's Capers, then it's available wherever you get your podcast from. Download it, like, share, subscribe, tell your mates, and tell them as well. So give it a listen. We've just come to our 1 year birthday. So again, thank you so much if you've been listening. I really, really do appreciate the support, and yeah, keep on listening so we can make it another year. And in terms of socials, you can find Yesterday's Capers on Instagram at Yesterday's Capers 1. We're on Facebook at facebook.com/Yesterday's Capers. We're on Twitter at Yesterday Capers. You can find me on Instagram at Abdullah_Moallim. And you can find me on Twitter at Abdullah Moallim, all one word. Give me a holler, give me a shout, and join us next time for another episode of Yesterday's Capers.